If you watch my Suzuki Dzire features video, you'll remember that I said that the Dzire looked cute, weird, and a little bit pudgy. Well guys, I take it all back. You see, the Suzuki Dzire is a freaking fun little go-kart for the street. And if you want to know why, well, stick around as we drive the Suzuki Dzire GL AGS. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Regan and welcome back to another driving video. If you're new to my channel, I want you to click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Filipino automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But first, click that like button. Also, special thanks to Suzuki Philippines for lending me the Suzuki Dzire for a few days to do this driving video. So here's the thing guys. When you look at the Suzuki Dzire, it's easy to just dismiss it as another budget small city car in the segment. It also looks kinda weird with its trunk that's been tacked on to its rear end. But the thing is guys, well, cars aren't really just made to be looked at, right? I mean, they're not really design pieces and all. I mean, all cars are meant to be driven, and that's exactly what we're gonna do with the Suzuki Dzire. So let's go and start driving this thing. You see, in order to fully appreciate the Suzuki Dzire, you really just have to drive it. Now, this top-spec Suzuki Dzire is equipped with what Suzuki calls an AGS transmission, which stands for auto gear shift. Now, auto gear shift is it's a 5-speed manual transmission that comes with an automatic clutch. Now, this transmission is something that takes some getting used to, guys, because it doesn't have a park option. We only have a reverse, neutral drive, and a manual mode. Now, to show you the character of this automated manual, let's go for that drive right now. So when you finally get to drive the Suzuki Dzire GL with its automated manual transmission, well, you would do yourself a favor if you pop it in manual mode all the time. You see, it has a drive mode. And when you just stay in drive mode, well, every time it upshifts, it's kind of weird because it feels like the car is pulling back when it doesn't upshift. And it's a really, really weird feeling that you don't get if, let's say, you have a regular automatic transmission or a CVT. Now, I would reserve the drive mode for if you're like super tired from work, or like if you're in stop-and-go traffic, then you could use the drive mode. But every other time, guys, that you're driving this thing, do yourself a favor and always put it in manual mode. Now, I love the manual mode of this thing because the upshift is, you have to pull to do an upshift and push forward to do a downshift. And that's what I like about it because it is quite sporty if you think of it that way. Now, as for the ergonomics and the sitting position of this Suzuki Dzire, well, you have a pretty tall sitting position here. So that will help like shorter drivers than myself when it comes to driving this thing. That gives you a pretty good visibility up front and on the sides. And considering that this is quite a small vehicle, it is really easy to just weave this thing in and out of traffic. Now, as for the steering feel of the Suzuki Dzire GL, well, I have to say this to you guys. The Dzire has got to have the best steering feel in the budget city car category. I mean, this thing only costs 700,000 pesos and change. And yet, the steering feel is nearly telepathic. I mean, we've got a really sharp response here. The feel itself is perfectly weighted. It's not too light, it's not too heavy, it's just right. The geometry is really sharp, see? It feels like I'm driving a go-kart whenever I'm changing lanes with this thing. And when you pair that with the fact that we have a really small, well, a tiny vehicle here, well, going around city traffic is really going to be a fun exercise every time you drive the Suzuki Dzire. But here's a little quirk though. I'm kind of weirded out that every time I put this thing in reverse, well, I don't see the image of a reverse camera here. Now, granted, I might be spoiled by some of the other cars that I review, guys, which always have a reverse camera or a 360 cam. But yes, I have to also consider that the Dzire is, as I keep mentioning, it's a value small city car. So yeah, we don't really have a reverse camera here. And that's probably the first aftermarket piece that I will install in the Suzuki Dzire if ever I'm going to daily drive this thing. I mean, it is a small car, but maybe I'm just spoiled, or yeah, but having a reverse camera would be really sweet, guys. Now guys, here's one of the biggest advantages of the Suzuki Dzire: fuel economy. You know, in the few days that I've been driving this thing, well, I've managed to get 13.3 kilometers per liter in the city. That is a figure for the city. 13.3 kilometers per liter, and on the highway like where we are now at an average speed of around 80 kilometers per hour, well, the Suzuki Dzire returned to me 22 kilometers per liter. Guys, this is one of the most fuel efficient budget city cars that you can get for the money. Now, when it comes to the acceleration of this thing, well, if you just pop it in drive, like what we are in now, well, it's a bit sluggish. Although if you press a bit on the gas pedal, it is eager to downshift like what it did right now. So we downshifted to 4th, and now we're back to 5th. But the gas pedal is a little bit on the heavy side, and it feels like it just wants to maximize on the fuel efficiency. Now guys, that is well and good, but if you need to throw the hammer down, you just pop it in manual mode, do a downshift, and listen to this engine. Woo! Oh yeah! Guys, this is a value small city car, and yet the engine note, I don't even know if my mic caught that, but the engine note of this Dzire sounds like it's a tuned engine. It sounds like it's the engine of a freaking race car. I love it. And you know, this Dzire, even if it has a small engine, guys, the fact that it's small and light means that it's quite easy to take it up to triple-digit speeds. And well, let's just put it this way. I had an opportunity to test it out in a controlled environment, and this can easily reach triple-digit speeds, and it can take you to illegal speed territory quite easily. In fact, it can do it pretty fast. Check it out. Listen to that engine. You can do this if you're in manual mode. Alright, I think I better slow down. Awesome guys. Although I have to give you guys a fair warning. The Suzuki Dzire has a pretty short wheelbase, so if you take it up to triple-digit speeds, well, the car can get a little bit jittery on the highway. Coupled with the fact that it's a small and lightweight vehicle, and if you're in a skyway like this, well, it's going to be buffeted by the winds or like passing SUVs or buses. So yeah, it can get a little bit skittish at triple-digit speeds, guys. So you have to bear in mind that if you're going to do that, you have to keep your focus on the road, keep both hands on the wheel, and make sure that you have a steely resolve. Because yeah, it can get a little bit frightening running at triple-digit speeds, more than the speed limit in this little baby that we call the Suzuki Dzire. Now, another advantage of the Dzire is, well, the brake feel. Now, Suzuki also knows how to tune their brake pedal, and I love the brake feel of this thing. It's got brake feel that is just right, it's confident, and yeah, it has a pretty strong bite, mainly because this is a very light vehicle. Now, as for the cabin comfort and the NVH of this thing, well, the Suzuki Dzire has a pretty solid cabin. It doesn't sound too noisy inside. In fact, it sounds pretty solid. Now, when you go up to highway speeds, there is a tad bit of wind noise that's coming into the cabin. and a bit of tire noise as well. But that's pretty much already expected for, for value small city cars like the Suzuki Dzire. When it comes to the suspension comfort, it's quite comfortable, it's stable. Well, as long as you don't take it up to highway speeds, because at highway speeds, as I mentioned, it can get a little bit skittish. But around the city, guys, it has a solid suspension. The underpinnings is pretty solid. I've gone through some potholes and uneven roads, and it doesn't feel like anything is going to, to break down underneath this car. It has a solid suspension. When it comes to its handling though, well, as I mentioned, the Suzuki Dzire feels like a go-kart for the street. You see, it has minimal understeer, and it can take corners with utmost confidence, guys. I mean, I'm having so much fun driving this thing because yeah, it's like it feels like a budget mini. Like, remember the classic minis of old? Yeah, it feels that way. The way it handles, the way it takes the corners. We're coming up to a corner right now, so I'm going to show you a little bit. This is just a nice sweeping corner here. See, downshift to fourth, downshift to third, and we're taking the corner, yep, faster than normal. And the tires aren't even singing, guys. See, minimal understeer, well controlled going into the corners. Fantastic. Now I know why Suzuki named this car the Suzuki Dzire. It gives you all of the things that you desire from a fun little value city car. It gives you exceptional fuel economy, it gives you go-kart-like handling, and it also has this automated manual transmission that is tuned to fully maximize all of the power output that its cute little engine can provide. Now guys, I know I call this a quirky and weird looking car, but as I said at the start of the video, I take it all back. See, this cute and fun little car gave me one of the best drives I've ever had this side of 700,000 Philippine pesos. The Suzuki Dzire is really a fantastic option for anybody who likes a good drive. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this driving video, and until my next one, thanks for watching.